All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our 12th chat in the Fireside chat series entitled Effective Correctional and Counseling Techniques for Low Performing Employees. I'm Dr. KD Ewulu, as always, executive coach and author of the leadership book, Big Dreams, Making It Happen for Organizations and Teams. I want to first of all thank you for joining me again for this 10 to 15-minute chat. And if for any reason you're not able to join us live, you can watch the replay of this presentation at a more convenient time, either on LinkedIn, my YouTube channel, or on Facebook. Today, we're going to go into a little more detail about correctional and counseling steps for low-performing employees, with particular emphasis on what leaders should do to prepare for, execute, and manage their corrective sessions. Firstly, I want to remind us of the type of employee that requires correction, or after subsequent correctional initiatives, counseling. In our last chart, we identified them as low attitude employees. And by this, we mean team members who demotivate the team with their behavior, whether they're competent at their tasks, at their individual tasks or not. We opined in our last chart that demotivating team members who are good at their individual tasks are related with. That is, they're gently corrected utilizing private, tactful, and open-ended communications. Now, while those who are poor performers at their tasks are often counseled, we're going to be going through the counseling process during this chat. Now, corrective and counseling techniques are to be applied during 3 phases: before the session, during the session, and after the session. So let's start with our recommended best practices before the correctional session. Number 1, understand the risks. There's going to be the possibility of lawsuits, loss of morale, potential loss of the employee or the employee's friends who might be pulled into the fight, so to say, reduced productivity due to maybe passive aggression of involved team members, damaged relationships, and the chance that the issue might be intensified by the corrective session rather than being resolved. Number 2, you want to acknowledge the benefits of the session. The counseling that occurs during the corrective session could, on the other hand, make the relationship better. It could clear up any misunderstandings, facilitate better understanding by all parties involved. It can increase transparency and truthfulness between the parties involved, and it can rebuild trust. Number 3, you want to determine your goals and objectives. Basically, before going into a counseling session, leaders have to be absolutely sure of their reasons for doing so. Trying to jump feet first in and fix situations or fix the erring personnel without an overarching goal in mind is not a good idea. So it's advisable to write down what you want to achieve. This is going to serve as a guide and a delineator of boundaries during the session. Number 4, know when to leave it to the professionals. Now, the fact that we are team leaders does not necessarily mean that we're psychiatrists or human talent specialists. We have to be aware of our professional boundaries and our limitations and know when to call in the professionals. First, the human resource department, and then, if needed, external counselors. Personal issues, violent tendencies on the part of the employee being counseled, suspected mental health problems, substance abuse issues, and raw emotionalism should prompt leaders to invite professionals into the mix. Now, if the organization has an employee assistance program, which is called an EAP, or they have trained HR personnel, team leaders could actually leverage them to ensure the larger organization is not put in workforce safety jeopardy or legal jeopardy. Now, let's take a look at recommended practices during the corrective session. The principal aim during this phase is to come to an agreement that problem exists. It is preferable for the employee to come to that conclusion on their own, or at best, with the prompting of the leader. So number one, we've got to agree that there's a problem. The employee may not be aware there's a problem. So you want to endeavor as a leader to state the issue as clearly as possible. Ask pointedly if the employee was fully aware that standards and expectations were not being met. Be neutral as you do this. Stay away from being judgmental and just unemotionally stating the facts. Number two, clarify your expectations. The first excuse most underperformers give is, I did not know this task was part of my job description. So you want to ensure you review the job description and the assignment given, pointing out the expected outcomes. Give the employee the benefit of the doubt. Number three, you want to obtain mutual commitments. What do I mean by that? Document the proceedings and assure them that the required documentation does not signify a disciplinary procedure, but is only a record-keeping technique to keep both parties in line. You want to obtain an agreement on their part to pursue any agreed-to objectives. Be careful here. You've got to promise to help them succeed in achieving those objectives. Number four, agree on a progress measurement methodology. You want to agree on an instrument or a platform to use in monitoring and measuring the status of work being done. Both parties should have access to this instrument. Number five, set phase gates. What do I mean by that? You want to ensure that small chunks of work that make up the full assignment are calendar dated. It gives both parties intermittent points to review work completed for correctness, be motivated, and then to plan for subsequent phases. All right, now that we have reviewed the do's and don'ts before and during the corrective or counseling session, let's briefly remind ourselves of what to do after a correctional meeting. Number one, you want to reinforce a positive relationship. You see, corrective meetings, no matter how cordial or well managed, often leave the employees hurting and with lowered professional esteem. You want to take action to soothe the wounds created by the problematic behavior. You can do this by affirming to them that they can turn things around, speak positively, and expect positive things from them. Number two, stay available. Give them your contact information and assure them they can call you at convenient times for guidance and encouragement. You can even make yourself physically or technologically available via a process called Managing by Walking Around, MBAA. Number three, document your observations. You want to inform them that your session and observations are being documented for both your sakes. Let them know why it is important to do so. Identify guidance, tracking, and continuity as reasons for the documentation. What you don't want is for them to think you've just garnered documented evidence to punish or terminate them in the near future at a later date. Okay, now, during the last 10 minutes or so, we've reviewed past best practices for leaders as they prepare for post and post-operate corrective and counseling sessions of their performing team members. It is, however, time for me to say cheers. For alas, my allotted time with you all today is up. But before I go, I want to charge you all to be all to all, meaning be flexible, be adaptable, be tolerant as you correct your low-performing or erring team members. I call this BATA, BATA. And I'll be talking a little bit more on this at our next Fireside chat. So, join me in 2 weeks' time on this same platform as we continue our review of my leadership book, Big Dreams, Making It Happen for Organizations and Teams. In our next broadcast on Monday, July the 8th, 2024, titled Conflict Resolution and Management, we're going to learn about the conflict management process, as well as the conflict resolution styles that can help us keep productivity and cohesion within our teams vibrant. See you in 2 weeks' time, my friends. Now, before I go, I want to ask you to get prepared for broadcast number 13 by grabbing a copy of my book at the QR code that you see right there on your screen. For those of you who are joining me live right now, I want you to just take a moment and take a screenshot of this. All right, and for those who are going to be watching this later, just go ahead and pause the video here and take a screenshot because there's a lot of information contained on this page. The QR code on the screen, on the background to my right, on the background to my right, okay, allows you to grab a copy of the book on Amazon, okay? The link you see there, the first link there is for the paperback version, and the second link is for the ebook version. You can download that onto your handheld, okay? And as I said, that's the QR code right there at the center of the screen that allows you to just take an image and go straight onto that page on Amazon and get your copy. Now, for those who want to have further discussions with me about mostly our 2 signature products, how we help organizations and how we help individuals, you can look at those last two links at the bottom of the screen. Okay, the first one is a link to our CTP Corporate Turnaround Program Initiative. The details are there on that link there. Okay, and that's where we work with corporate organizations, corporate entities to figure out what their issues are, figure out solutions for them, and jump in the trenches with their frontline staff to make sure that these things are not only fixed, but embedded in company culture. The second one there is for individuals who are looking for one-on-one coaching going on over a year. It's called our annual coaching subscription as well. That information is there. Grab it as we go on. Grab your appointment, your free appointment with me at calendly.com, right there on the screen, and I'll see you at the meeting. All right, you can also connect with me on LinkedIn to receive notifications about these fireside chats, okay? We have about 6 of them scheduled every other Monday until sometime in August of 2024. By that time, I should have finished the meat of the book, okay? I want you to have a successful, focused, and satisfying 2 weeks. And I see you at our 13th broadcast on Monday, July the 8th, 2024 at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, as always. This is Dr. KD Ewulu. I want you to be kind and supportive as you correct and counsel your low-performing team members towards more enhanced productivity and motivation levels. Cheers, and take care of yourselves. I'll see you again in about 2 weeks. Bye for now.